Hit the link at the bottom of the screen to check out the exclusive show available on odds.com. It's only available on odds.com. Just hit the link to check it all out. We move on. Patriots-Dolphins. Very, very interesting spot here. Jeez, we have so many games to go, Bebs. I got to speed this shit up, man. Dolphins open up at -3 at plus 100. They're now 2.5s across the board. There are 2s now on the board. Total opens up at 42.5. It's now at 41.5. Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens, Florida, 76 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour. Patriots are on extra rest and preparation after their disappointing 24-3 loss at the Rams on Thursday night. Cam Newton was 9-16 for 119 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. Stidham replaced him in the fourth quarter, was 5-7 for 27 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Belichick has said, Cam's our guy, Cam's starting. New England was held without an offensive touchdown for the second time this season, only the 15th time since Belichick became coach in 2000. New England managed only 220 total yards to 62 in the second half. Since throwing for 365 yards against Houston on November 22nd, Cam Newton has passed for a total of 172 yards in the last 3 games combined. Can you imagine that? 172 yards last 3 games combined. Bebsy, what do you think when I give you that stat?
That's insane. That's an insane stat. And it also, I mean, how do you run an offense like that? How does a defense not just stack the box and make you try and beat them on the ground? It's
4 weeks ago, he threw for 365 yards against Houston. The Patriots were 0-4 in the red zone on Thursday. Through 13 games, they're 27th in the NFL in the red zone, scoring a touchdown on 52.3% of their opportunities. Damian Harris ran for 11 times for 50 yards. Then he leaves the field in the fourth quarter with a back injury. He's listed as questionable. N'Keal Harry led the receivers with 3 catches for 49 yards. Gunnar Olszewski, I felt like an asshole when I was hearing his name pronounced. I've been calling him Olszewski like an ass clown. Gunnar Olszewski entered the game leading the NFL with 26.9-yard punt return average. How am I mispronouncing the guy leading the NFL in punt returning? He returned a punt for 21 yards in the fourth quarter. Nick Folk extended his made field goal streak to 21. New England's defense allowed 186 rushing yards, marked the 4th time the Patriots have given up 150 yards or more on the ground this year. Running back J.J. Taylor, wide receiver Dante Moncrief are listed as questionable this week. Julian Edmond is off the COVID list, but he's still on the injured reserve list with a knee injury. Patriots, Bebsy. Patriots. Do they have value against these Dolphins? Because it's moved to 2.5 from 3.
I think the only reason they have a little bit of value is because of the fact that there are some injuries. But also, you just highlighted Slats 45 saying his rookie record. And look, I said if there's a quarterback who can overcome that, it's Herbert. And that was an embarrassment of a game. So, man, if Tua's playing, I can't back Miami. I can't at all. I would love for Flores to be smart enough to just put in Fitz magic for that game. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to start Tua, and therefore I lose all faith in Miami because I don't have a ton of faith in Tua to begin with. So I think this is a very difficult spot with Tua starting. And it would be an awful look. Also, can you ban Matt Rebuck? That's like the 5th time he's posted anyone need a book to bet through. No, we don't. Yeah. Good. Fuck off.
Yeah, Matt. We don't want no spam. We have certain rules. One spamming, so don't drop that again, Matt. Miami's coming off 33-27 loss at home to the Chiefs. Miami intercepted Mahomes 3 times. Xavier Howard, what a monster! 5th game in a row with a pick, increasing his season total to NFL high 9. They also recovered a fumble. 4 turnovers led to just 10 points for Miami. It's amazing when you watch the Chiefs play. You have these teams where everything goes right for them, like in that game against the Broncos. Like the Broncos did everything right, and they still lose. It's Tua Tagovailoa, 28-48, 316 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. First game, or his highest yards output of his young career. Lynn Bowden led the receivers, 7 catches for 82 yards. Wide receiver Jakeem Grant left the game with a hamstring injury. He's week to week. Devontae Parker suffered a slight hamstring strain during the Dolphins' loss. His status for the game is undetermined. Jasecki, Bebsie was very close to moving on. Props with Mike Jasecki. He caught 5 passes for 65 yards, 2 touchdowns. Then he hurt his shoulder and left the game. And the brass are talking about he's probably going to miss this week's game. So that's a ton of injuries on offense. Their running game struggled again without Myles Gaskin out due to COVID. But, I mean, this is the first week he's been out, but he had just come back from a knee injury. Salvon Ahmed remains out of the lineup list as questionable to return this week. DeAndre Washington led the running backs with 13 carries for 35 yards. They played without linebackers Kyle Van Noy and Elandon Roberts because of injuries. They're both listed as questionable. An offensive tackle, Eric Flowers, also listed as questionable to go this week. This is a tricky game, and this is just very, very tricky. Bebsie, is there a move that you're interested in making here in Patriots-Dolphins?
I still, even as low as it is, I still think the under is a look here. Oh, and Cash Action Bet saying the same thing, which makes me feel a little more comfortable about that. I agree with JT. It's a scary game to bet. Especially Gesicki, that injury didn't look good. Is he out? Is he?
They were intimating that he's not going to be in the lineup this week,
and he's really been surging for them. So I think under is the play here,
even at 41.5.
Even at 41.5, I don't see the Pats moving the ball against this very good Miami defense, and I don't see Tua coming in with these injuries and putting up a lot of points. As low as this is, this still feels like an underplay to me.
Do you want to make it?
I think I'm going to do it.
All right, let's get them locked in here. We're going to odds.com to the odds page. We move over to totals, and let's see what we can offer up. Bebsie, I also got Circa up here. Let's see what we can offer. Bebsie, man, we're still on 1 p.m. games. 41.5 is across the. Oh no, there's a 42 at Bet Rivers. Let's see what Circa is hanging. Circa 40. Wow, Bet Rivers wanting the money and getting it, and it's only minus 112 juice. Let's lock Bebsie in. Bebsie under 42, minus 112 at Bet Rivers. All right. Well, I'm going to need to think about this spot for a little longer. So you see like a 2017 final.
I see like a 17-14 final.
Wow. Robert Allen giving a shout out to Bet Rivers numbers.